So I was like, oh no, I always kept to myself. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, my taxes is coming. So she's going to have somewhere, she's going to need to somewhere else to be because one, we're getting serious. Two, I already know your reputation. Three, my kids need to go back into their room because my best friend can't always take my kids for me to have it, some adult time. So when I know the date that my income tax is coming, I tell her, I was like, okay, so you're filing your income tax, I'm filing my income tax, so you should be making enough for you to get your own place, a car, and everything. So what I'm going to do, because you're still working, because this is what I said, like, you should, I'm going to do, I'm going to pay my rent all the way, but I always did that anyway. I'm going to pay my rent all the way to June. And you don't have to pay nothing. All you have to do is just help me with the light bill and you save the rest of your money. So that way you can take your income tax plus the money that you're making from your paychecks that you don't have to put towards bills. You can save that for an apartment. And you can save that to put down on a car. So she was like, okay, she understands, and she understood. So, mind you, like, he's coming over, like, during the weekends and all that stuff, because that's when he has his oldest son and then his daughter. So he would do these, because when he would spend the night sometimes, he would have his daughter with him. So the only thing I used to say about this little girl was she cried so much. When I say she cried, she was crying. And mind you, I'm still doing doubles. I'm still working my ass off to pay these bills and everything like that. So I really don't get no sleep. So, and then again too, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know how to be a step parent. And then I felt like if I overstepped my boundaries, I didn't know what type of woman his baby mama was, because when he was telling me like about her, he was just telling me like, oh, she used to accuse him of cheating, all this other stuff, and oh, she be trying to fight him and all this like, I'm like, I don't want to step in between nobody, and this is a brand new baby, so I don't know how how she would feel if I was starting to take over and trying to figure out why she crying or whatever. And I didn't want to interfere with that. Like I said, I didn't know how to be a step parent. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I was like, oh my God, like he and honestly, that was my time to actually step in and actually like soothe her. I don't know what he was doing. Like, he was not comforting her at all. But, she had colic. So it was like she was going to cry. Because I always figured out with especially, like I said, my daughter, she cried a lot. But I figured out what made her, like, could sleep through the night. And she always just slept in her car seat. So for me to get some sleep, I would have to put her in her car seat. So I guess he used that as ammo towards me to go do what he wanted to do, or to go see who he wanted to see. Because a lot of times, like, if I, like, when I started, like, if I would leave, my son would be there with him. And we would just take my daughter and we would just go, like, to the store or something like that. When I would come back, my son would tell me, like, oh, he had another girl over here. So I would ask him, my son said another girl was over here, but a lot of his homeboys, girlfriends, I would meet. So he was like, oh, no, that was what's-it-called-his girlfriend. And then I was like, oh, okay. So when my son started telling me, like, regularly, like, not regularly, like, but when he would see another girl he wasn't familiar with that was at my house, I would always question him about it. But he would always say it was one of his homeboys. So it was because when I would get mad, like I said, I would shut down. So then I wouldn't talk to him or I wouldn't text him. So he would create these arguments with me. So that way I wouldn't talk to him for a couple of weeks. You see, you're hearing the signs, right? So I wouldn't talk to him for a couple of weeks. Because I'll give you the silent treatment. I won't talk to you. I'll go about my business like you don't exist. I'm very good at that. So one time, his daughter was still a baby. And I'm fixing all of the kids' breakfast or whatever. And he was spending the night at my house. He just had this nasty attitude, like, just going off on me. But then I'm hearing him on the phone saying, oh, I could take my baby somewhere else, and I take care of my own baby, this and that. I'm like, wait, what? Grabs his daughter and leaves my house. I was like, I'm okay, whatever. He's already showing me the narcissistic things that he's doing. So this time around at work, no, it's not around this time. So mind you, my best friend, she's, getting serious with her dude. And then Joe and Nixon's, they're coming over. We're spending time. And we're all spending time together. We're chilling, all that stuff. So everything is kind of leveling out, but I'm still like starting to notice dude is acting weird. So it comes time to hold on. So now with the job situation, now everything hits the fan. Our manager ends up getting fired. I think they've always had it out for her because she was just such a strong black woman, and they could not stand it. They could not break her. They could not break her. And they got the one melanated female to actually tear our house apart. So there's the assistant manager at the time had to take over. So this is one night he drops me off at work, and I go into work. And as soon as I walked in there, like, mind you, my manager's, I think, been gone by this time, like a couple of days or a week or a couple of weeks. Because when I walked in there, I'm getting everything ready, we're gossiping, chit-chatting, I'm chatting with the residents and everything like that. The assistant manager, she calls me, she tells me it's the manager on the line. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She was like, do you have a Honda Civic? I said, yeah. She's like, does it have the Haitian flag on it? Yeah. She said, is it a two-door? I was like, you know what my car looks like. Why are you asking me all of this? She was like, well, your car's over here by my mom's house in the projects. Because they know I don't. Why would my car? I'm at work.